Ethan never liked cities. They were too loud, too alive, too full of people who always seemed to be running from something. Maybe from themselves. But when the accident happened, he needed to disappear, and the city was the only place where he could. He found an apartment at the edge of Georgetown. 4th floor, old building, cheap rent, and a window that looked out across the narrow street to another identical block of gray concrete. It was quiet, and that's what he wanted. Quiet meant safety. Quiet meant peace. Quiet meant forgetting. For the first few nights, he unpacked slowly. A few clothes, a mattress, his laptop. He didn't bring much. He didn't want to. The only sound in the evenings was the hum of the refrigerator and the city far below. But then, one night around 11:30, he noticed something strange. Across the street, one window was glowing faintly. It was the 6th floor, 7th window from a left. Apartment 607. A figure stood behind the curtain, motionless, just standing. At first, Ethan thought nothing of it. Maybe someone was awake late. Maybe they couldn't sleep either. But when he looked again the next night, the same window was lit. The same figure stood there. And the next night, and the one after that. Every night, 11:30 sharp, a faint yellow glow, a motionless shadow behind the curtain. He told himself not to care. It was none of his business. But something about the stillness of the way the figure never moved, never said, never turned got under his skin. A week passed before he finally gave in to curiosity. He went to the window and raised his hand in a small wave. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it tilted its head slowly to the side, like it was studying him. Ethan froze. The moment stretched. Then the light flickered once, twice, and went out. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Ethan went to his landlord, an older man with tired eyes who sat behind the front desk, sorting through rent slips. "Hey," Ethan began. "You know the building across the street? Someone keeps staring into my window at night." The man looked up slowly. "Across the street?" "Yeah. Apartment 607. The light's on every night." The landlord frowned. "There's Northwest building across the street, son. The lot's been empty since the fire." Ethan laughed nervously. "No, I mean the one." But the man just stared. "You're new here. You'll get used to the quiet. Don't let it get in your head." That night, Ethan opened the blinds. And for the first time, there was nothing. No building. No windows. Just an empty, blackened lot full of weeds and twisted metal. He stood there, staring into the darkness, heart pounding. But then just for a second he saw something shimmer. The faint outline of the building. 12 windows glowing faintly through the fog. Then it vanished. He blinked, unsure if he'd imagined it. The next morning, there was an envelope under his door. No name. No return address. Inside was a single Polaroid photo. It showed his apartment building, from across the street. And in the picture through his own window was him. Sleeping. He dropped it immediately, pulse racing. The window was locked. The door was locked. Nobody could have taken that picture. He told himself it was a prank. Someone trying to scare him. But no one knew him here. He picked up the photo again and looked closer. Behind his sleeping body, in the reflection on the glass, a faint light glowed from the opposite building. Apartment 607. Ethan tried to keep his mind busy the next day, but every time he closed his eyes, he saw that window. That night, he stayed up past 11:30, determined not to look. But when the clock hit 11:32, something inside him broke. He pulled the blinds open. The building was there, clear as daylight. In apartment 607, the curtain shifted slightly. A pale hand pressed against the glass. Ethan stumbled backward. His phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. "Why did you leave us?" He dropped the phone. The message vanished as soon as he picked it up again. The next morning, he drove downtown and found the city's record office. He told the clerk he was researching old buildings for a project. She found the file easily. The building across the street had burned down in 2015. The fire started in apartment 607. 5 people died. The file listed their names. One stood out. Daniel Gray. Ethan knew that name. He'd heard it before. Somewhere online, a horror story about a man who checked into a motel, saw something in a television, and never checked out. That night, he dreamed of fire. He was standing in a long, narrow hallway. The air was thick with smoke. Wallpaper curled and peeled like burning skin. At the end of the hall was a door. The numbers were half melted but still readable. 607. Static came from behind at the sound of a TV struggling for signal. He pushed the door open. Inside, a Mun sat facing an old television. The glow lit his charred face. His eyes were pale, glassy, empty. The Mun turned slowly. "You kept watching," he said. Ethan tried to back away, but the walls melted into flame. When the man stood up, his reflection appeared on the TV screen, and in the reflection, Ethan saw himself sitting on the bed, watching through the window. Then everything went white. Ethan woke up gasping. The smell of smoke still lingered faintly in his apartment, and on the inside of his window were black, charred fingerprints. He scrubbed them off until the glass squeaked. But that night, they came back. The next few nights blurred together. He didn't eat much, didn't sleep. Every time the clock ticked toward 11:30, his chest tightened. He started hearing static faintly from his walls. Sometimes it came from his laptop, sometimes from nowhere. And every night, the same dream. The hallway, the Mun, the words, "You kept watching." Now it's been 3 weeks. Tonight, it's 11:29, and I'm writing this down because I know what's coming. The fog outside is thick. The air feels heavy. My hands won't stop shaking. I tell myself not to look, not to give in. But then the glow appears. The building is back. I can see it clearly now. Every floor, every window. In 607, the light is on. The curtain is wide open. 5 figures stand there. Their faces are burned and hollow. Their eyes pale and lifeless locked on mine. The Mun in front raises a camera. There's a blinding flash. And then my phone buzzes. A message. "Turn around." They say ghosts are bound to the places they die. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe they're bound to the ones who remember them. Maybe every time we look too long, we open a door we don't know how to close. And once they see you, they never stop looking.